Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Season 3, Episode 2. Also, I guess a side note, this season we're going to just do shop owners. So that is going to be our entire season, all 87 episodes of it, all shop owners, which Mitch is here. Mitch, how's it going?
Great. Got some good news today. Hopefully I'm skating soon.
That's good. Yeah, you've been out. How long have you been out?
Since the end of July.
Well, fingers crossed. We have a guest, our first guest of the skate shop owners, Steve from NJ Skateshop. Steve, how's it going? Thanks for coming on.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, the least we could do.
Yeah, so I think we just wanted to kind of like focus on some of the shops that we really enjoy, and like Steve and I both grew up like in that mentality of like the skate shop is kind of essential to your community and like it ties you into everything. So we were like, we want to kind of get to know a bunch of like the shop owners that we're down for and have a good conversation, see where everything came from with you guys and where it's going. Yeah, so what motivated you guys to like start a shop in the first place? Was there like a need in that area, or did
For me, personally, it was something I actually wrote in my like middle school yearbook that I wanted to own a skateboard shop, but I said in California for some reason because I thought you had to go to California. So instead, I pivoted to New Jersey. But yeah, the motivation was really just like Troy and Chris, who are my partners. Troy has since left. A new skate park in Sayreville had opened that we were helping basically piece it together, if you will. And we just came up with the fact of like, let's open a shop, and try it out. So that was 2003.
Yeah, that was the first one that I went to, was that location that was right by Sayreville. Yeah, I went with all like the Zero dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they were there for something.
I remember seeing you at the Sayreville Park too, as well. For a while, it was a hot spot, and then like everything, the next park pops up and it dries out, but it was cool.
Yeah, I pretended to know how to skate transition at that point.
Yeah, it doesn't have much of a street area, but it was definitely one of a kind, for 20 years ago. So
Yeah, when there were no public parks like that.
I was just there actually Sunday. Like over the summer, we painted it the whole park again, and it like the bowl's like super fast again, and so yeah, it was a good time. It's a good time. I just don't
That's
go
awesome.
there as often anymore. I think I skated it for 10 years straight, like every Saturday and Sunday, like legit.
Yeah, it's funny. That's how I feel about that Ambler Park. Like we went there so much, like when they first built it, that now I like can't like even bring myself to go there. I'm like, I don't know what else that I would even consider.
I'm starting to feel the same way about Colonia Park because I always seem to find myself there a lot because it's like a mile away from our house. So but I'm like, why am I here so much?
That's the one that like goes in a loop.
Yeah, exactly. But it's
Okay.
it's really fun. But skateboarding is like it's not just the skateboarding; it's like the pursuit of skateboarding for me, at least, like the adventure. And like I feel like as I've gotten older, I definitely kind of lost that. So that's why that Albany trip was so sick when I seen you guys. Just like I remember Fletch, like I was talking to Fletch, and I felt like when I left, I was like, was I rude? But I just was so excited to go skating.
Yeah, I think everybody was kind of in that headspace at that weekend, and we were all just like, dude, we're all here. Like, no one's got any responsibilities. Like,
Exactly,
let's just
man.
get skate.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. Plus, my son tugging on my knee about going skating, how to get it done.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, that's the way to handle it because I probably would have had you there for 3 hours, so run what you can.
No.
Yeah, I was saying between Steve and Angel, you had been talking for.
Yeah.
That was a pleasure. That was a pleasure to. I haven't like, so I know of Angel when I lived in Philly for like a brief, like maybe 6 months, and I would see Angel there and just like big respect to him. Like I had to tell him I was like he's such an OG and he's so sick. So
Don't blow up his ego too much. This is where Steve puts in a picture of Rob G.
Yeah. It'll appear right there.
So you said that was 2003.
yeah, 2003 is when we officially opened. I was actually on my father's birthday, July 15th. So
Did you open the second shop before the Sayreville one closed?
no, we opened New Brunswick. Probably I want to say maybe 4 years afterwards.
Okay.
After Sayreville, yeah, and then we had both open, but like Hurricane Sandy came in Sayreville and like pretty much decimated most of the town. Like
Oh wow.
it was really crazy, and it So we closed up over there just because it was literally like it just wasn't as much as like my heart was in it. Our heart was in. We were in it. It just didn't make sense anymore. And New Brunswick was, kind of just like it has like more potential for people to come in, basically. So
yeah. There's a lot more like walk up traffic at
Yeah.
that shop than like where the Sayreville one was. Was
Yeah.
kind of like
like
you had to
destination-
drive to it.
Yeah, destination shops are hard, because it's like
Yeah.
parking and blah blah blah. When people could just walk by or whatever, it seems to like work out better. I think that's why
Yeah.
a lot of the shops in like a major city do really well.
So I guess one of the cool things, and you guys, I remember
Yeah.
even like Sloan Powder's how I was pretty much familiar because I used to give Sloan boards and when I was doing Siegel.
Yep, I remember.
And,
Oh wow.
yeah, and you guys took boards. It was like, oh, Sloan's our dude. We can take like 2 boards, and
Yeah.
which was like really cool. It was cool to get into something out of state, and it was cool to see that you guys back, no matter how ridiculous what he rode for was. Like, yeah, we'll try some boards, and
I feel like
I
you
thought
sent
that was
boards
really
to Bill Marshall too, right? At one point.
no, I gave boards to Chris. What is he? The kid with all the Alien Workshop boards.
Okay, what deal? Oh, Davis.
Chris
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, I guess like reality speaking, man, it's like it's there are a ton of people from the shop, but it's like it's all like everyone uses the word family and stuff. Like I would say definitely family, but like our friendships are just like it's not about like who's good at skateboarding. It's just like we naturally vibe, we become friends, and like they decide like to wear an NJ shirt. It's like cool, you know what I'm saying, or like put a sticker on their board. It's not like as like the very first person that we actually like asked to ride for the shop was Jeff Heckman, but we call him Bubba.
But, yeah.
Yeah, so like
He used
and
to
that-
come skate
that was,
Philly
like-
Ams.
yeah, exactly. He used to live in Philly and stuff. Like he was like the first dude like ever on. And like John Carson. He was like he was at the shop from day one playing video games with me and like just like because you're sitting there doing nothing or just playing curb skate in the back. But yeah, like Ron Diley, Fred, obviously Fred Gall is like close friend. There's so many, man. Just like I'm just like honored that they're even like down for the shop, obviously. John Gardner, who else? Joe Turkmanian. Oof.
Dude, there's so many that it just gets
Dick
like
Rizzo, Josh
Well, that's
Wilson,
right. And you even have like Dick Rizzo, right? Josh Wilson.
James Patiniak.
James is great.
We always keep so Ron's new board's out. Ron's new board actually drops tomorrow in Jersey City for Square Up. It's like his I guess retirement board or something. But
I swear up. B-Dugs.
yeah, exactly. B Dugs is the homie, obviously. I was just with him the other day at the shop. He stopped by.
Mark.
There's so many, man. Mark
Oh, that's
Humanic.
right.
Mark Humanic should be pro.
God,
Yes,
yeah.
he should.
Like there's so many that have like we've become just like such close like friends. Like we so much, the Gesco brothers. It goes on and on and on. If I'm
Yeah, you guys pumped out a lot of like cool people or just supported and that's what it always seems like. It's like everybody's down just because like of who you guys are and kind of the way you treat everybody.
I feel like it's like there's a mutual respect there, and like it's just like they actually care about the shop, and they know I care about them, and I would do anything for any of them. I forgot a ton of people right now, but like they mean the
That's
world.
gonna happen.
I gotta look around and see. I keep them on the wall. Dylan Constantine, Adam Ham Sandwich, go on and on and on. But yeah, so Brian Anderson is like part of like 18 different shops, but he's always around. He'll be there tomorrow night, so it's super cool. So
Yeah, it's cool because that way, like speaking of like BA is a good like transition. Like you guys have always had cool like support in the industry because I think people know that you guys are like genuine. So like everybody's down to.
yeah, I would hope so. I feel like we're like a huge thing about the shop for me, and just being I guess a teacher and a father is like giving, not receiving. Like there's only so much you could take, You know, like obviously we need to make some money so we can pay the bills and can pay my employees. Which without my employees, the shops wouldn't even be open. Shout out Bill Marshall, Michael Torres, Marcel Graham, Neil, Justin, and Jacob. They are all holding it down, and then just random people. Piero will fill in sometimes. Like he'll just be like, I'll take it. You know, everyone's willing to help if we don't have coverage. So, you know, and appreciate that. And they have the keys, and you know, I trust them with it. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about it. You know, so. It's like I'll randomly get texts in the middle of the night, like 10 o'clock. I just broke my board. Kind of hop in the shop and get a board. I was like, yep, go ahead. It's like, it's all good.
So with that, and you have this community of skaters that work there, ride for you guys, you know, affiliated with. And so do you think it's a big, like giving back and having events and stuff is a huge thing and something that skate shops should take pride in doing these events and whatever they can? I'm sure it's, you know, a lot of hard work, but there is a payoff to it.
Well, it's like, again, it's like truly not. I enjoy the fact of like if we can link up like at the 20-year anniversary and the opening of Jersey Skate Park and give away, you know, 100 skateboards, 100 pairs of shoes, and the industry supports it. Obviously, my partner Chris Noreko, he has a foundation that does that. But beyond that, it's just like kids will literally come to New Brunswick, and if I'm here, it's like they know to take advantage of me. They're like coming with a chip board, and I'm like, dude, let me find something in the back, you know. And I'm like, all right, here, just take this, like a brand, you know. Like I just, if they're gonna keep skating, you know, in the long run, they're truly gonna. I think it's the best thing for them. You know what I mean? Like if like they keep skating, they're gonna hang out here. They're gonna understand that this is a community, this is a family, and like that's how it works, you know. But doing the events is part of the gig, man. You have to like do events. To me, like back in the day, we would have like so many demos. So our first demo was Baker, you know, Emerica. They rolled up, you know, we did so many demos, and then that dried up, and it's like, well, you have to form your own kind of like routine to give back. You know what I mean? It can't just be the companies coming out, because everything's so accessible through like all the social media stuff. So now the fans, if you will, or the people who follow skating are not as attached because they can see it on Instagram. So now it's like, well, what can I do for you personally? You know what I mean? Well, let's throw like a best trick or something like that, which I'm not a huge fan of the best trick, but I just like an old school skate jam. You know what I mean? Just everyone get together, skate, and whatever, and then we'll throw out some shit, you know, stuff.
Yeah, like when you were first opening, it's one of those things where like everyone's excited because like, yeah, of course, like Andrew Reynolds is someone's favorite skater, and they have no access to Andrew Reynolds
exactly
on an average day. They're like, oh, well, cool, he's going to be at the park. Like, I need to be there and like see him skate in person. And now it's like they can send him a DM on Instagram and
exactly. Respond. It's crazy because I was going through some like old stuff, and like I found like a Home News Tribune of like Brian Herman with an NJ shirt on, doing like, you could see it was like a nollie flip nose slide on the hubble edge at Sayreville, and I was just like, whoa, he was like a little kid, you know?
Yeah, little kid,
like legit little kid, and they just brought him along on tour. No one knew who he was, but he got the cover of the newspaper, you know. It's just funny. But yeah, it's been pretty much the MO, like, and even if it's not just like an event, it's like using our platform in order to like help like families in need, kids in need, whatever it may be, just trying to help. And like I'm like constantly hitting companies up. I'm like, what do you have in the back that's not selling, like clothing wise? This family needs clothing, you know what I mean? Like they need sneakers, like whatever it be. Obviously I'm going to give it to from the shop, but you know, what can we do to help these people out? It's pretty normal, especially like, you know, being a teacher in Jersey City, I'm constant, like if I see a kid sneakers, you know, I've gone through so many pairs of sneakers. I'll go early to the Jersey City shop. I know the size. I can't sleep because I have to get a pair of shoes for this kid. And then I take them into like an area where no one else is looking. I'm like, here, take these and stick in your backpack. You got them yourself. I'm not looking for credit. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like helping is important, because when I was a kid, I needed like a lot of help. I need a lot of support myself. So, you know what I mean? So it goes a long way.
Yeah, I think that also goes back to like when you were saying like those kids come into the shop and like are looking for something or just looking for just to hang out or like looking for somebody to be cool with them. Like you don't know, like you might be the stability in that kid's. Like you don't know what they have going on.
You
At home,
never
so
know, man. What I always say is like, listen, you don't have to come here to buy anything. There's plenty of room. Have a seat. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just don't curse. Don't be. Like don't carry on if like people are in here. But otherwise, just even on Saturday when I was working, I worked the shop because we had a time scan video premiere. My friend Rob Taro and. I seen a girl and she felt uncertain about coming in here and she walked by it and I was like, and then she just stood there and I was like, you can come in. And she was like nervous. I'm like, what are you nervous about? I don't know. It's like intimidating. I'm like, intimidating? No, come on in. She wound up getting complete. She was excited. You know what I mean? It was really cool. So, but.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen our fair share of like cool guy stuff happen at different places and you hear those stories, but.
I don't know what's so cool about like because you skateboard does not determine you're cool. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, like it's not that important. Just do your thing. It's fun. It's that's all it should be. And if you want other people to, you should spread that fun to other people. No gatekeeping here. Sorry.
But yeah, I went to that event you guys did over the summer, or I guess that was like September, right?
Which
one? Van.
Oh yeah, and so but yeah, that's a special one, obviously.
Yeah.
Brandon Wilkie's like, it's funny because like I always knew him as the kid who wore like the Sixers jersey and like smelled like cigs, and I'd be like, who is that dude? And then like, I don't know, like slowly we just became like close, and he would like we start talking on the phone and texting, and like he just called me up, be like, how are you today? You know what I mean? And like. We developed I would say like a pretty solid friendship. And all my best friends are like literally from the shop. That's what I've realized. Because, my wife's like, you don't go out ever. I was like, because I'm at the shop and I'm hanging out with my friends. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like I'm pretty like simple guy, you know what I mean? So the shop is like my hangout. That's the way I look at it. And we happen to sell some stuff sometimes, But Brendan Wilkie, one of the owners of Square Up Skateboards. Yeah, we do like an event every year with the help of John Gardner and any other sponsors, and the whole team, the whole Anvan squad. Like, there's so many to name: Berger, Sardi, everyone over there. The Gesco brothers. Gesco's went. Jordan, particularly, he built like 2 or 3 new obstacles for that day, like literally concrete.
Yeah, I saw those new hubbas they put in. Those look incredible.
His mom is there, his dad's there. Like, I mean, insane. Like, just wanting to get it done, and it's really cool. So, yeah, definitely community friendship, man. That's what it's all about.
That's another one where it's just builds up part of that. Like, when somebody in your community's down, like you guys step up and.
That's literally why we did that eye shot and James board with there and real. It was like kind of just like, and we're like, eye shot and James have been friends forever, and it's like we came up with this like we were just talking. It's like, yo, it's 20 years of friendship, literally. So we put that in like all our shirts lately. That's been our thing, and it was really cool. Jeff Chung drew the graphic up and everything, so it was just like it made sense, like. And James and Aisha have been friends literally since they're kids, Like, it's like funny. We did a whole like we found somebody who had all the old footage. It was insane.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And so it was really cool. And the way I met James was actually from Pakadati. He just like stopped by with James one day, and just like I think James like ran like a summer camp for us, like a skate camp, and worked at the Princeton shop at one point. So
yeah, I met him and Andrea at the same time.
Oh yeah, Andrew's the best. Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, Andrew's awesome.
So yeah, while we're here, let's talk about the 20-year stuff. Like, you guys did so many different things for this 20 years for a skate shop is a big deal, especially when shops are struggling for so long. Like, the fact that you guys made it to 20 years is a big deal.
Well, yeah, honestly, we should have been out of business in 2008. But because it's like, you ever make like a stupid investment in your life?
Yeah.
But your heart's in it. I reinvested into the shop with my own money because I did not want it to go away. I did not want this boat to sail away. You know what I mean? And luckily, you know, years later, I was able to like get my money back, and my wife was like bugging sometimes. But you know, she knows how much it means to me. You know, it's like everything to me. So, yeah. But these days for 20 years, yeah, we're celebrating with like some different brands that we've been working with. Tomorrow we're having like a Thrasher party for the Thrasher drop, as well as Ron Square Up board. We have a couple other things we celebrated also with that New Balance drop for Jersey City. That was a huge one, and that went over really well for the people of Jersey City, obviously, and it's kind of like a moniker to like my family, all my family roots up in Jersey City. So
Yeah, those had like that whole story behind it with the
Yeah.
stadium and all that stuff. That was super cool.
yeah, it was really enjoyable. That's like where I saw my first concert as a kid. So you know, Cool and the Gang, who are from Jersey City. So, but yeah, that was a really fun project. I'm trying to think what else we did. Like we obviously the James and I shot board.
And there were like small ones. Right? There was like a girl.
Yeah, so we did a girl board. We did a jersey with Damage. Can't forget that. Damage.
Yeah.
Love horror. What else? Adidas. We did a pack with Adidas, just apparel.
Oh yeah, I saw those guys wearing it at the demo here.
And they came out and skated and hung out, and Daywan was here. It was crazy. Daywan was here, and he walks in, and he's like, Steve? I was like, yeah. He's like, I skated with you at some park in California. Like, I remember that one that was like closed down, the concrete one. It was like, and then they reopened
Washington Street?
Yeah, Washington Street. And he was like, remember Washington Street says you were ripping? I was like, no, I wasn't. I'm like, you were ripping. And he's like, no, man, I remember. I'm like, how the hell does this guy remember? And you know what I mean? I was tripping on that.
But I heard that from so many different people that like their interactions with him were like, oh no, he's more interested in you than like you want to be with him.
But like, how did you remember me from that long ago? Like, it
Yeah.
was sick, and I was like, that was touching. You know what I mean? And so much respect for the Adidas team coming through. They just totally nailed it. Like, just everything about them was super cool. They spent like, I sent them to a curb spot. I drove by there, went home, let my dogs out, came back. They were still there skating. It had to be like 3 hours. It was sick.
Wow.
They were
That's
just like,
awesome.
yeah, it was just like cool, you know, it's like getting a real feel for actually like New Brunswick and stuff. So, but we have a couple other things we're dropping.
It wasn't 20 year, but the Vans collab from a year or two ago, the brick ones.
Yeah, the brick ones are sick. Yeah, that was like pretty deep. Like, we're just like nerds, you know what I'm saying? Like, it comes down to it. Like, we're just like, we want it to be like special and obviously not like forced, but it has to have like a meaning to us. But Saraville's where I moved to, actually. That's literally where I got into skating. I saw it in my time when I lived up in the city, in Jersey City in North Bergen. But there was like, you know, I seen a group of pirates one day when I was when I was in this place called the Little Park, and it was like these like legit, you know, like Sorrow, Richie Garcia. It was basically like a lot of the dudes from like Shut Team. Felix was there, like the Sanford twins. They like skate a lot of vert, but yeah, I seen these dudes coming down 74th Street Hill, and I was just like, whoa, they're like legit pirates. Like, this is sick. And and then I always wanted a skateboard, but I like had a BMX bike. When I moved to Saraville, my bike had gotten stolen one weekend when I went back to Jersey City, where my mother worked, and I got a skateboard like the next weekend in Union City. I got like a paper route, and like my dad fronted me the cash, and like then I paid him back through the paper route. So, but apparently I picked out a marker Gator Mini. It was just a weird board. It's like odd, you know what I mean? An odd choice, but I wanted the Rob Roscott, but it wasn't there.
So I know it's like one of those things that Steve and I always talk about when we go to shops is like having shop gear. Mm-hmm. I feel like you guys always like have really good shop gear. Is it like that's like a big thing for you guys is like just making sure like you're.
Yeah, I'm not like obviously we just have the basic logo and stuff like that we'll do, but like I'm really big on like presenting properly. and I don't like to drop anything unless like it's like if we're doing a bunch of stuff, it's like it could sit in the back for 2 months and like I'll wait until everything is together for it. You know what I mean? It's like back in the day we would just do a shirt and just draw, put it out, and now it's just like I want it to be more like curated in a way, just so it's like so it tells the story.
You have a shop and it's like, this is the cool stuff we get to do. This is the fun part of it. We get to do these projects and make these things and, designing the stuff, working with somebody. And then I'm sure the guys you have too, like you said, like, oh, I want to get footage for this. I want to do something with this. Let's do it, instead of like, oh, we just did this cool. Like these guys are into it and you get to do this. And it's like, yeah, that's the fun stuff. I'm trying to think too, like, so, like, do you guys ever do, like, Homey Boards? Like, you'll give, like... Do you ever do that? I know, like, Seasons does it sometimes, where they'll just give, like, one of their dudes a board. Have you guys done stuff like that?
We have. We did one for, like, when Doogie, Sylvester Eduardo, he used to ride Fibro. We gave him a board. We did a board for him. We have some stuff in the plans, and unfortunately, like, due to COVID, it didn't work out, but I wanted to do a board for Teddy Becks, Teddy Powell. Like, he's just, like, such a sick skateboarder, like, a Jersey, and, like, he's in a Spitfire video and stuff, but...
And one of the Trans World, was it the old cinematographer one?
Yeah.
One of the New York sections he's in.
Yep. He's there with Mike Cardona and Quim. Yeah, so that's, like, they're close. There was close friend of Quim's and Mike's. But so like we had all these ideas of like doing boards for like people who like I would love to do one for Matt Twirliger. He works at like Labor, but he's like a Jersey guy,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He
the Wildest Collection.
Yeah, the Wildest Collection, but just like even as like I didn't know him till like later, I would love to like do a board for him, like
he had a slap cover, right?
Yes, he did. He's had 2 actually, I believe.
Okay.
He might have had 2. But yeah, like he used to come to Sayreville a lot and skate, so he would stop and like, whatever, we'd skate Sayreville. A bunch of dudes like there. And so anyway, we were trying to do these runs of 50 boards, and then the COVID thing happened, and there's just like, then the wood went crazy, so it kind of got put on the back burner. So the next one we have coming out is another Sylvester board, but it's his one of his good homies and shop homie, Julian, his little brother on a skateboard, and it's like, it's insane. It's like he's like a ghoulish skateboarder, but it looks like, and he's doing like laying down on the board. It looks really tight. So we're looking forward to doing that. That probably won't drop till spring, but yeah, that's the goal. We want to do boards for the kids from the shop. Make it a little bit more personal than just throwing a logo on a board.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I always wanted a DOA shop owner board. I was like, I'm gonna get one. I know it.
And you would have been up there. You would have gotten my vote for sure.
I did those, and then the brand went under.
I know, dude. And I was like, I'm next season. I know it. And I was like, dang. All right, it's cool.
I really wanted to keep it going. The funny thing was,
dude, that was smart.
So I did it, and I'm thinking too, like, kind of. It's a catch-22. Because I didn't really like putting stuff online, so shops have it for a while. I got to that point, like, well, why are they going to buy my stuff? People will buy off of me. Like, shops can have it. I used to put just the flat boards online until it was like months after, and I just had to clear stuff out because the flat boards none of the shops wanted, so I would just sell those, and but it was funny because the shop owners didn't order their own boards, and I guess like a modesty thing, like
that's he
was like, yeah, I'll take 6 of them, and I'm like, I know you're gonna sell more than 6, and I should have just sent them without an invoice, like, I know you're not going to say, like, my board, give me 50 of them,
Yeah, true.
So it was that, and then
that's
dude
funny.
Mark, too, who Mark was the best, still is the best skater. And same thing, he was just like, oh, yeah, I'll take a box of boards, and I'm like, it's usually his thing, like, I'll take them Bakers, let's just mix it up for me. And so it's kind of like...
That's still his model.
Well, that's kind of like a taboo. I get it, though, because, like, right now I'm really and desperately in need of sneakers to skate. Like, my shoes are just toast, and I like the old Dunks with the thinner tongue that SB made at one point, and I have a pair, but it's like one of the shoes that we did, and I'm like, it's like taboo. Like I can't wear that. It's like, I just something about it just makes me feel like cringy. So I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? I'm like, maybe I'll spray paint them, but I don't know. But kudos to you, Steve, for not going online, because like all the brands will name nameless, but they like to drop all their stuff first and then send our orders, and and then we got to fight and scrape to like try to sell it, and it's
And
like,
then tell you can't sell it online.
yeah, like it's like crazy, man. It's like, where's the let's be fair here, guys. Like help us out a little bit. I understand, but
Yeah, that's one of the things when I started doing stuff with Terror, Angel, and I kind of pushed that model to him a little bit more of like, let's give it a couple months of, let the shops have them, and then, when we have to move the end of the stuff, we'll put it online or whatever. And
for sure, it's generally with the boards. I feel like if you buy a skateboard online, that's like crazy. It's just crazy to me, but it's probably because I'm old. So unless you get the same board that you've been riding for numerous times, you know what I mean? I love to, like, there's the best feeling ever just standing on a skateboard. You know what I'm saying? And feeling it out, like too much concave, this, that, the other thing.
yeah, looking at the stack, I mean, like, oh, this one's a little steeper than.
Yeah, exactly.
A board online, like what you're saying. I sit there and it has to be the flattest board. I put stacks of boards on top of each other just to see which one's the flattest, and
Oh yeah,
can't
dude,
do that online.
So I like the old China wood girl boards. Like that's all I would ride. So I had my friend there I had my friend Jamie like go in the warehouse and find like a bunch of like old Jerry Sue's like after he left, and I was like, all right, chocolate board's perfect, flat, nice nose, send them my way, and like you know what I mean, just to have like just because the new ones, I just like a little steeper.
The kick steep on. They have that weird, like flat, and then they shoot up too high. Is what I think.
Whoever makes NHS boards, I'm bad at that. I don't know who makes what, but whoever makes NHS boards, they're super steep. Definitely feel strong, but steep, and I don't like that. So I need flat, but a big nose, big round nose.
Doesn't matter. This is the best stuff about skating is that you like what you like. Mitch and me ride completely different boards, and it's like, to me, that's the coolest thing. Some people might not like the same kind of skating. That's amazing to me that there's so much of a difference. And when you know somebody who's like, oh, I like this too, it's like, oh, awesome. I thought I was the only crazy person, so this is cool. And it's like a bond, and there's a personalization to skating.
Yeah, but bro, like in the
that.
shop, not to keep you guys, but like, hey, dude, like you, like, all right, one of the shop kids, Adam, he's just like, I need the number three sheet of mob. Oh no, there's like, no, that's
What
somebody.
Do those numbers mean something on the mob grip?
Apparently to Adam it does. And I'm just like, Adam, come on, man. And now he's really into pepper grip. I ran out of pepper grip. He's the one that probably bought them all because like he loves the grip tape. I have to get more. Actually, I was just texting with Brian Brown about like ordering some, and some Ace trucks, the best trucks in the business. But you guys don't ride Ace though, right?
No, we're venture guys.
Ventures.
Yeah, well, I had the Ace, the lows, and I didn't mind them.
Yeah,
but
I love it. Oof, they're so good.
The lows were awesome, and that they made lows.
Yeah, I haven't tried them. I just stick to the ones that like work. It's just funny, like every time, like my other two boys and my daughter, they like I got them skateboards and they kind of like just ride around. But JoJo's kind of like more into it, and actually like constantly skating. But it's like by default, everyone has Ace. Like
You don't get a choice in this.
you don't get a choice. You're getting Ace. So yeah.
They were crazy to switch to from Ventures, because I was doing Venture lows, and then like I tried the Ace. I was like, all right, Ace lows, and I was like, this is insane. It felt like I was like, it moves and they turn, and so I did like them. I don't even know why I switched off them, to be honest with you. I think I just thought like the image of Venture was cooler, so I went back to Venture.
Yeah. True.
And
yeah,
but I always do. I have one set of Venture lows I always go back to.
I guess like Indy and Ace basically are like, I don't know, whether they like it or not, brotherly brands, because it's like I think they're like loosely tied at some point. So, but definitely dig them.
I think it's funny.
Yeah, I
it took
definitely rode
Indy
them.
however long to bring back their truck that Ace modeled theirs after for 10 years.
Yeah, something like to that extent. I feel like the new truck. Where is it? It's like right, like this new joint is like very AC, or maybe this is the original. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know.
I think that's their version, right, of bringing back their own truck.
Possibly, yeah, right. It looks like very similar
Yeah.
to these, but yeah,
I had Indy Lows, and I gave them away to somebody like a fucking idiot. I had 139 Indy Lows, and
Oh my
I'll
God.
never find them again. And I gave them to my friend TJ.
The only person I had to get those for was Chris Chaffone. Like he, him and
The
him and
best.
Wenning. That's all they skated was. So when they came through, it was just like any Indy Lows. I'm like, who skates Indy Lows, dude? Come on.
Indy Lows, yeah. Chris Chaffone, the best. Switch flip, backside 5-0 pyramid ledges.
Dude, Chaffone is nasty. He's a firefighter in DC. It's insane, man, what that kid's gone through. Like, again, that's the thing. I'm forgetting people, but like Chaffone, man, like amazing skateboarder, gets like basically paralyzed and comes out of it and is walking and makes it onto a fire squad. You know what I mean? Within like 3 years.
It's incredible.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And he's still skating, when he can, and he just got a house. Like, yeah, so it's like, I feel bad.
So
like,
sick.
if there's anyone I forgot, but they're so like, they're like seriously brothers to me. Like all of them, sisters, like so many good people.
Oh, with 20 years of like people coming in and out of the shop, like it's a lot to remember.
Yeah, it is a lot, but they all know they're all super, super important to me. I tend to forget, but if I forget like someone's birthday, I get bummed at myself. Like I know Adrian Vega is on the 30th, so
That's funny. I was going to mention Adrian when we were going through names earlier, and I couldn't pull it, but that's
So
somebody
you
from,
gotta-
back in the day.
Impressive group of people.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's
Like, just the talent pool in New Jersey alone is insane.
yeah, it's like Vega is insane, man. I found all this crazy footage of him and then I just found like a bunch of stuff of him and I was just like, wow, dude, this kid is unbelievable. Like he still skates and stuff now, like, but he's really into running and he has like a full-time job, but a significant other. But I know he knew his dad and stuff, like you know.
He used to come to all the contests too, like a skinny
Exactly.
little kid in a helmet. And
Exactly, he's him and Mark are from this town like Bayville, Toms River area. So all those kids, like Bill Marshall, all those dudes, Matt Daniels. There's so many of them from down there, and JP Blair, obviously, like with the filming. So there's like a ton of people down there, that they eventually migrated up north, like slowly. So, but happy birthday to you, Adrian, if this doesn't get edited out.
yeah, he was working at Deluxe for a little bit, wasn't he?
Yeah, he worked at Deluxe. He
Used to get boards from Chocolate, right? A while ago.
Yeah, so he was getting boards from Chocolate and Lakai, and shoes from Lakai, and then
Then he blew that and didn't put them on.
yeah, man.
Oh, good. There's a lot of weird stuff. I always think, and this is bad, but I always think those guys are too far up their ass. They don't see a value in certain things. Like that they didn't know who the fuck Travis Stenger was. I was just... Really?
Yeah,
Like you had
I think
a gold mine under your noses. And now I don't know if it was a Travis Stenger didn't care. It could be like, hey, he just wanted free boards and to do whatever, which happens. But I was just like, to not even know who he is.
Yeah, I think like for a while it was a lot of East Coast dudes, girls were overlooked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Tony Montgomery.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, gee, Tony Montgomery was in our NHS. We did like we remember the Strange Notes? We did a Strange Notes and Tony Montgomery was in it just cause, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, just because you can't.
because he's like so
good.
ill, you know what I mean? So sick. I feel like he was around at something recently, but someone told me I don't make every event sometimes because like I'm so wrapped up. Like my family comes first. I have to, you know what I mean? So
It's pretty cool how you balance all these things, and I'm sure it's a very difficult balancing act, but that you are doing, like, there's a lot of hats you wear, I'm sure.
So I'm in my 25th year of teaching, a little bit over actually, and for 23 of those years, I worked like an after-school job till 6 for the state, and I don't know how I did it, like running around trying to, like, obviously I have a partner, but I know how I did it when I reflect. It's like our team, the dudes, like, like I said, all those guys I mentioned earlier, they like handle it, They'll tell me, I'm like, I'll cover Saturday. They're like, why don't you take a break? Just like, chill, man. Like, I got this. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to be there anyway, though. They're like, I know you're going to be there because I always come, you know what I mean? Like, at least in the morning just to, like, check it out. Like, the only time I don't come to the shop is literally Christmas Day. Thanksgiving, I'm here. I come every day to one of the shops. What's up, babe? I'm finishing up. I'll be coming home soon. All right, I love you. Bye. That's my wife.
I was gonna say that's how we're gonna end the podcast when I edit this.